So I did ask before we recorded if anything was off limits. So just for listeners' benefit, I asked everyone if anything's off limits.
Yeah.
So you did live in your car for a while.
Let's say no fixed address. Yeah. For a while. Yeah. And then at one point I got discovered that I was sleeping in a shopping mall, and it was while I was actually doing security for this particular shopping mall. And then the mall manager called the owner of that mall and said, hey, you guys got a property that you need somebody to live in, and I got a guy that needs a place to live. Can we send him there? Which was me. So I went to that place, corner of Jane and Rutherford. It was an abandoned home. These owners who owned the mall were heavily invested in real estate. Heavily invested. The mall was just part of their real estate portfolio. So southeast corner of Jane and Rutherford, the house is still there, I believe, to this day. Possibly not now, though, because there are some big developments. Like there's a big, I could show you on my phone after, one of those poster boards of what's up and coming, and it's several condominiums. It was a 10-acre lot. I went in there. The house ran on oil and water, and when it rained inside the house. Like it was an older house, but you know what? For that time, and it was, a good amount of time that I was there, it was home. And unfortunately, there were times where there was a slight incline to get to the house, so you had to drive. So it's on 10 acres, which sounds really odd at Jane and Rutherford, but yep.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was there before Vaughan Mills was there. So it was just Wonderland in this house. And then Vaughan Mills slowly came, and then the whole area just exploded. Yeah. So a slight incline to get up to the house, and you had to drive down this little path. And if we didn't call the oil truck fast enough to come give oil, we would not have heat. And that had happened. The tank would run out because the oil trucks couldn't make it up, and we would have no heat for a while. Yeah. That was crazy. And as a backup, we had a generator because when they were considering developing, they had the place surveyed, and they were putting up some screening, some fencing, and the guys who were doing that clipped the power to the house. So we got a generator, and that was one of the times shortly after that where the whole GTA, remember when it went into darkness for a few days? Yeah, so we were one of the few people with a generator. Wow. Which was convenient at the time.
You were one of the richest people in the world at that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what changed? Because you were on that trajectory.
Right.
No fixed address, and now.
Yeah.
Do you even know statistically where your performance is? Again, I know you don't like talking about yourself, but we need to somehow quantify, because you got to be top 1%, top 0.1% of realtors in like the world.
Yeah, but when you're going through it, you don't really see what you're going through. I don't know how to describe it. So there's always been a grind, and I think I've been taught those traits since I was young. That's the way I see life. You're going to rust out or you're going to wear out, and I rather wear out than rust out. So I'm riding on the shoulder of giants as well, like being at Rockstar and with some great people there, Tom and Nick. Like I truly am riding on the shoulders of giants. So you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most, right? And I'm hanging around some great people. So I think you got to be careful of the groups that you associate yourself with. First and foremost, and put yourself in those circles, and it's just gonna wear off on you. Yeah.
So can you move us forward to before you were doing real estate? Because I know you worked at a bar.
Yeah.
And what else? You had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Or probably more than that.
Yeah. Really, I always pretty well had 2 jobs. Yeah, always 2 jobs. Yeah, I was doing security and sleep medicine at one time. I was doing sleep medicine and bartending. Then I was doing bartending and real estate. And then once the real estate portfolio and then the clientele grew, then I got rid of the bartending. So yeah, always going at it. Yeah.
So what was your first taste of better word, first involvement with investment real estate?
It was a childhood friend of mine who moved to Oakville, and this is when I was living in the GTA, and he said, hey, you got to come out here, this area is exploding and you should buy pre-construction. And I came out and I'm like, whoa, this Oakville place is far.
Yeah.
This was in for context. This is in I want to say like 1990. I'm bad with years. It's in the 90s for sure. The earlier 90s. So I came out and rode his coattails in regards to, he's like, yeah, this particular area, this particular, subdivision, you should get something here. So I did. Yeah, bought it. I saved every penny I had to be able to put a down payment on a property. And then I moved from so that now this is going to be the first time that I'm a homeowner. So I move into this house, Irwin. I took a mattress and a TV with me. That's all I had to my name. That was it. Luckily, I had some pretty good friends. So that same person, he was married. He was young at the time as well. But they had an extra bed. So they gave me this rusted bed frame that I took to the back, spray painted it black. I remember. So now I had a official bed set. Another friend lent me a dining room set. I had somebody else that was very kind that bought me a love seat and Chesterfield set. So I was setting the house up for staging. This wasn't for me. There was Winners at the time, not HomeSense. I went to Winners. I bought picture frames. I was certain to keep the price tags on these picture frames because I knew I'd have to return them. I had every single cent into the properties. I went to the Oakville Public Library and I went to their black and white photography books. I photocopied the photography. I took those papers and slid those into the picture frames. That's what I used to stage the house. Did for sale by owner and then sold that first house, made decent money and was hooked ever since. And you know what, it wasn't like, so that was the main catalyst, but growing up, you hear about, I was the type that, if I heard, so we know somebody else mutually that does audio video. He would tell me about people's homes that he would go into and put in $150,000 audio video system. I'm like, who are these people? I didn't care about the audio video system. Yeah. I'm like, what does this person do?
Yeah.
And it was in the different careers that I've had as well. The mall owners, for instance, it was real estate. The common denominator always came back as this person either from a business they bought real estate or they just on the side start buying real estate. The common denominator was these people had real estate. So real estate was the path I wanted to take. I guess that certainty of, hey, you know what, you are on the right path, continue down this road, was that first flip. Then I did a few more of those in Oakville, then went into Rockstar, did rent to owns, regular rentals, got into single families, converting them to second suites, got into student rentals, and then helping other investors do the same. And then it's been the easiest path that personally I've seen be just give people the ability of to me it's freedom. It's not about the book that I have, Wealth Won't Wait. It's not about it. It is about wealth, absolutely, 100%. But that wealth is the catalyst to freedom. To not only do what you want when you want, but also not to do something you don't want to do. And it's been the easiest that I've seen, business in a box, because real estate doesn't matter what color you are, how old you are, your education. It's the same for everyone. Real estate does not care. You good home in a good area, and you're gonna be in good shape.